this is going to be, in my opinion, the first time we'll leave out a team, maybe two, that's good enough to win the national championship.
Yeah. Well, here's what I think is going to happen. Michigan's obviously going to win. So Michigan is in. I think Oregon is going to win. I think Oregon's going to get left out.
I agree.
Really?
Yep.
I agree. A lot of people are billing that, Brown, as a play-in game.
I don't think it is at all.
I think it is for Washington.
I'm not 100% it is for Washington. I don't think it is for Oregon. I think Oregon just does not have a resume to stand on. They do not have a single good win.
One top 25 win in Oregon State. They'll stay in there.
Yep.
And then Washington, which will be a top 5 win.
Yep. So you just don't really have a resume to stand on in comparison to the other teams around you. You're a one-loss team, so you don't have an undefeated to stand on. Oregon does not have a good case to stand on. So I think they're out.
Michigan's in. Texas is going to beat Oak State. I think Texas is in.
I would agree with you there.
Florida State, I don't know if they're going to win the game or not. I think it's going to be really tight.
Even if they do, I don't think they're in.
Just real quick.
Okay.
So you're saying Texas is in?
I am saying
because
that,
they
yes.
beat Alabama and Tuscaloosa.
I think it's because of a lot of things, but that is going to be their best win. Yes.
What are their other good wins?
Huh?
What are their other good wins compared to Oregon? Oregon's going to have a higher ranked win over Washington when it's all said and done.
I mean, Texas is going to have Oklahoma State, which is going to be ranked. They might not be ranked after they beat them, though.
Where's Kansas State right now?
They're about to be out. They just lost to Iowa State over the weekend.
Yeah, bad loss.
Well, let's let him finish before you start busting this down.
I'm just
if
saying,
I could just do the whole thing before you start tearing it apart, please. We haven't built the house.
I didn't want to go Jenga on you here,
Okay,
but I pulled one out there. That
Okay.
You go Texas over Oregon.
I would go Texas over Oregon.
Okay, so we know Michigan's in.
Easy.
We know Georgia's in if they beat Alabama.
Easy, not even a discussion.
Now, really,
should be in if they lose.
Yeah, the interesting thing is if they lose, Georgia should be in.
Okay, well, let's come back to that one. Let's.
Okay, so
let's have them losing because it's easy if they're in. So let's let Georgia lose.
Okay, so let Georgia lose.
Alabama is in.
You're building yourself a case now that
what?
You're not going to be able to work. You're tying
No,
yourself.
I'm fine with this.
You're going to tie yourself into a knot if you got Texas in already.
And Alabama is in too.
And Alabama's in already.
Michigan is in.
And
So I only need one more
already.
spot. So give me one more spot.
Okay, so you've got we have 7 teams fighting for 4 spots.
Yeah,
that's where we are.
Again.
The one I can guarantee
Ohio
is Michigan.
State is out.
Ohio State is out.
100% out. Yeah.
ESPN's playoff probability says they still got 54% to
Well,
make.
I mean, look,
stupid probability. I don't know why ESPN even does it. They don't make sense.
If this happened, if Georgia was to win, if Oregon was to win, if Iowa was, well, not Iowa. I don't want to say Iowa. If Oklahoma State was to win, Ohio State could get in. It would take massive upsets.
Yeah.
Go back to your original scenario so Brown can
I'm going to
finish up
take
here.
them out. Okay, so we know Michigan's in, right?
100%.
That is the only one that I can guarantee you is in.
I'm with you.
I feel like Texas is going to be in because I think they're going to beat Oklahoma State soundly.
I lean Texas. Okay.
Yeah, so that's 2 right there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that minus 14.5, 15-point favorite, that win's going to move the needle on you guys over
Can
Oklahoma
we
State.
just finish before you? Every
Okay.
time we get to Texas, you start you slow this down.
Then we've got Florida State. Let's say they win. They're
out.
sitting there.
They're out. Go ahead.
I think they're sitting there.
Unbeaten, 13-0, Power 5 conference champion. You're going to leave them out.
Yep, I am.
Oregon beats Washington.
This doesn't lock them in. Keep going.
Alabama beats Georgia.
Alabama is in if they beat Georgia. They are not, and I'll say it again. I think we got 2 or 3 clean reads on this. Jim has said the same thing. The SEC champion is not getting left out of the college football playoff.
Look, I don't know. I mean, I think Alabama's got a shot. They can't play like they played Saturday.
It doesn't matter how they play, just as long as they win the game. Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, if they play like they did this past Saturday, they're not going to beat Georgia.
You're absolutely right.
But if they win that game, in my opinion, Michigan, Alabama, Georgia, and then whoever else.
Yeah, you've gone a bridge too far with me for Georgia.
How you could leave Georgia out makes no sense.
Because they're not a conference champion. You're not gonna. I just don't think you leave Georgia out. Now, look,
I would put Oregon in front of Georgia.
I wouldn't, but I think the committee will.
Oh, I don't think they will.
Yeah. They don't want to have to. Your only argument for Georgia is they're 2-time defending national champion and they won all these games in a row.
No, their resume, Brown, would be
it's a good resume.
Win over number 9, massive win over number 12.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the best resume of any one-loss team.
Massive win on a Tennessee team that will not fall out now. There's no way Tennessee's going to be
No,
unranked.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Yeah.
So, I mean.
No. I don't think they got a bad resume. I'm just saying not being this is the wrong year to not be a conference champion. That's all I'm
Okay,
saying.
let's play out just based on Vegas odds what they say is going to happen, okay? Georgia wins, Michigan wins, Oregon wins, Florida State wins, Texas wins.
Yeah.
Florida State out.
Okay, so we know Georgia and Michigan are in, both undefeated.
So with those
So it comes down to Florida State, Oregon, and Texas.
all the favorites, you're saying Florida State's out.
Yeah.
I think Oregon's out.
I think I'd put Oregon in front of Florida State.
If all the favorites win, Georgia's in, Michigan's in, Florida State's in, and then the discussion becomes the one losses.
I think Oregon probably is in. And this is the reason being, Oregon's going to beat undefeated Washington. Florida State needed Louisville to win that game.
And Florida State's best win is still going to be LSU. And I know Oregon hasn't done anything. Oregon is there on eye test alone. That is the only thing that has Oregon there. Like, I think the committee almost counts the Washington loss as a win for them. Like, the way they have treated them, I think they almost, it's like they beat Washington. But even on eye test, they're going to have beat Washington, and you're going to look at FSU's resume, and you're going to say,
Well, they're going to have 3 top 25 wins. They're going to have Clemson. They didn't play NC State, did they? If they did, NC State's going to be ranked.
No.
LSU, they beat them, and they beat Louisville in your scenario.
Listen,
they're going to have 4 basically top 25 wins.
it makes no sense. It makes no sense that Georgia could play Alabama, lose to Alabama, and you said, we thought they were the best team in the nation, but now they're the 5th best team in the nation. That doesn't make sense. I agree with you. That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
Yeah, I don't
it's
think the committee leaves them out.
It's the way these things are operated. They don't make sense.
Georgia will be the best one-loss team.
I know, but these things don't make sense. It's why they put in criteria.
No, that's why they made the criteria can say 18 different things.
That's what I'm saying.
So they can manipulate.
It's why they put in criteria. They didn't want to do this and say, we're just going to go on the eye test. We watch football just like the rest of you. We're going to pin in what we think are the 4 best teams. Criteria be damned.